Hi, what's up, guys? Do you want to make $10,000 a month as a student? Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it's not. But it's also not as easy as some gurus and influencers make it seem. There is a lot of BS and misinformation out there about making money online as a student. And if you fall for it, you end up wasting your time, money, and energy on things that don't work or even worse, get you in trouble. That's why in this video, I'm going to break down the three main components you need to focus on if you want to make $10,000 a month as a student. These are the same components that I used to go from broke and clueless to financially free and successful. And I've also taught them to thousands of students who have achieved similar or even better results. So trust me, this is not some hype or fluff. This is the real deal. If you want to learn how to make $10,000 a month as a student, make sure you watch this video until the end and hit the subscribe button below. Because I'm going to drop some bombs of value that you don't want to miss. Ready? Let's go. So, the first component you need to make $10,000 a month as a student is the right vehicle. What do I mean by that? Well, a vehicle is basically a means or an opportunity that you use to make money online. And the right vehicle is one that is big enough but not too risky to achieve your goal of $10,000 a month as a student. Now, you might be wondering, what are some examples of the right vehicle? Well, let me tell you. The best vehicles for students are service-based businesses. These are businesses where you provide a service or a solution to a problem that someone else has. For example, you can offer web design, copywriting, video editing, social media management, consulting, coaching, tutoring, etc. These are all examples of service-based businesses that can make you $10,000 a month as a student. Now, you might be wondering, what are some examples of the wrong vehicle? Well, let me tell you. The worst vehicles for students are things like trading, e-commerce brands, dropshipping, etc. These are all examples of businesses that are too risky, too competitive, too saturated, or too capital-intensive for students. They might sound sexy and glamorous, but trust me, they're not worth it. You end up losing more money than you make, or worse, getting scammed or sued. So stay away from them. Now, you might be wondering, why are service-based businesses better than these other vehicles? Well, let me tell you. Service-based businesses have three main advantages that make them ideal for students. First, they have high perceived value or high leverage. This means that you can charge a lot of money for your service because it solves a big problem or creates a big transformation for your client. For example, if you help someone grow their business by 10x with your web design or copywriting skills, they will happily pay you thousands of dollars for your service. Second, they spit out free cash flow. This means that you get paid upfront or soon after you deliver your service. You don't have to wait for months or years to see any profit. You don't have to deal with inventory or overhead costs. You don't have to worry about refunds or chargebacks. You just get paid and move on to the next client. Third, they don't require a lot of upfront investment or inventory. This means that you can start your service-based business with little or no money at all. You don't need to buy any products or equipment. You don't need to rent any space or hire any employees. You just need a laptop and an internet connection, and you're good to go. So as you can see, service-based businesses are the best vehicles for students who want to make $10,000 a month online. They are big enough but not too risky to achieve your goal. They have high perceived value or high leverage. They spit out free cash flow. And they don't require a lot of upfront investment or inventory. What more can you ask for? Alright, so now that you know the right vehicle to make $10,000 a month as a student, let's talk about the second component, the right timeline. What do I mean by that? Well, the right timeline is setting your expectations in years, not months. Yes, you heard me right. Years, not months. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, what? Years? Are you kidding me? I want to make $10,000 a month as soon as possible. I don't have time to wait for years. I need money now. Well, let me tell you something. If you think like that, you're setting yourself up for failure. Because making $10,000 a month as a student is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not a lottery ticket. It's not a magic pill. It's a long-term game. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And if you don't have the patience and the persistence to play the long-term game, you'll never make it. You'll quit too soon. You'll give up at the first sign of difficulty. You'll lose motivation and focus. You'll chase shiny objects and distractions. You'll fall for scams and false promises. And you end up broke and frustrated. Trust me, I've seen it happen to many people who had the potential to make $10,000 a month as a student, but they didn't have the right timeline. They wanted instant gratification and overnight success. And they got nothing but disappointment and regret. Don't be like them. Be smarter than them. Set your expectations in years, not months. Because that's the only way to make $10,000 a month as a student. Now, why is the right timeline important? Well, let me tell you. The right timeline is important for 3 reasons. First, it prevents you from quitting too soon. When you set your expectations in years, not months, you understand that making $10,000 a month as a student is not easy or fast. It takes time and effort. It takes trial and error. It takes learning and improving. It takes overcoming obstacles and setbacks. And it takes staying committed and consistent. When you understand that, you don't quit when things get hard or slow or boring or frustrating. You keep going because you know that it's part of the process and that it will pay off in the long run. Second, it helps you deal with challenges and plateaus. When you set your expectations in years, not months, you realize that making $10,000 a month as a student is not linear or smooth. It has ups and downs. It has peaks and valleys. It has growth spurts and stagnation periods. And it has breakthroughs and breakdowns. When you realize that, you don't get discouraged or depressed when you face challenges or plateaus in your journey. You don't lose hope or confidence when you encounter problems or failures in your business. You don't compare yourself or envy others who seem to be doing better than you in your niche or market. You deal with challenges and plateaus with optimism and resilience because you know that they are temporary and that they are opportunities to learn and grow and improve your skills and strategies and results. Third, it keeps you realistic and grounded. When you set your expectations in years, not months, you acknowledge that making $10,000 a month as a student is not glamorous or perfect. It has pros and cons. It has benefits and costs. It has rewards and sacrifices. And it has joys and pains. When you acknowledge that, you don't get delusional or arrogant when you achieve success or reach your goal. You don't think that you're better than anyone else or that you have it all figured out. You don't take things for granted or become complacent or lazy. You keep yourself realistic and grounded because you know that making $10,000 a month as a student is not the end goal, but the beginning of your journey. And that there is always more to learn, more to do, and more to achieve. So, as you can see, the right timeline is crucial for making $10,000 a month as a student. It prevents you from quitting too soon, it helps you deal with challenges and plateaus, and it keeps you realistic and grounded. So don't set your expectations in months, set them in years. Because that's how long it will take to make $10,000 a month as a student. Okay, so you have the right vehicle and the right timeline to make $10,000 a month as a student. But there's one more component you need, the right mindset. What do I mean by that? Well, the right mindset is understanding that making $10,000 a month is not the end goal, but the beginning of your journey. Yes, you heard me right. The beginning, not the end. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, what? The beginning? Are you crazy? Making $10,000 a month is awesome. It's more than enough. It's my dream come true. It's the end of all my problems and worries. Well, let me tell you something. If you think like that, you're limiting yourself and your potential. Because making $10,000 a month as a student is not awesome. It's not more than enough. It's not your dream come true. And it's not the end of all your problems and worries. It's just a milestone. A milestone that you should be proud of and grateful for, did not satisfied with or attached to. Because there's so much more to life and money than making $10,000 a month as a student. There's so much more to learn and do and achieve and contribute and enjoy and experience. And if you don't have the right mindset to see that, you'll miss out on all the opportunities and possibilities that await you beyond $10,000 a month as a student. Now, why is the right mindset important? Well, let me tell you. The right mindset is important for 3 reasons. First, it helps you stay consistent. When you understand that making $10,000 a month is not the end goal, at the beginning of your journey, you don't stop working hard or smart or creatively or strategically when you reach it. You don't get lazy or complacent or bored or distracted when you achieve it. You don't lose your passion or purpose or vision or mission when you attain it. You stay consistent because you know that making $10,000 a month is not enough to sustain your lifestyle or fulfill your potential or make a difference in the world. You know that there are always new challenges and opportunities and goals and dreams to pursue and accomplish and enjoy. Second, it helps you grow your wealth over time. When you understand that making $10,000 a month is not the end goal, at the beginning of your journey, you don't spend all your money on things that don't matter or add value to your life or others' lives when you earn it. You don't waste your money on things that depreciate or lose value over time or have no return on investment when you make it. You don't squander your money on things that harm your health or happiness or relationships or reputation when you receive it. You grow your wealth over time because you know that making $10,000 a month is not enough to secure your future or achieve financial freedom or create generational wealth. You know that there are always better ways to use your money to invest in yourself or your business or your education or your community or your legacy. Third, it helps you learn from old money and avoid new money mistakes. When you understand that making $10,000 a month is not the end goal, at the beginning of your journey, you don't act like new money when you have it. You don't flaunt your money or brag about your success or look down on others who have less than you when you get it. You don't change your personality or values or forget where you came from or betray your friends and family when you acquire it. You learn from old money because you know that making $10,000 a month is not enough to earn respect or admiration or influence or impact or happiness or fulfillment. You know that there are always more important things than money to cultivate and cherish and protect and share. So, as you can see, the right mindset is essential for making $10,000 a month as a student. It helps you stay consistent, it helps you grow your wealth over time, and it helps you learn from old money and avoid new money mistakes. So don't think that making $10,000 a month is the end goal, at the beginning of your journey, because that's how you make $10,000 a month as a student and beyond. Alright, guys, we've reached the end of this video, and I hope you've learned a lot from it. Because in this video, I've given you the 3 main components you need to make $10,000 a month as a student: the right vehicle, the right timeline, and the right mindset. These are the same components that I used to go from broke and clueless to financially free and successful. And I've also taught them to thousands of students who have achieved similar or even better results. So trust me, these components work. And they will work for you too, if you apply them consistently and correctly. But remember, making $10,000 a month as a student is not easy or fast or perfect. It's hard and slow and messy. It takes time and effort and patience and persistence. It takes trial and error and learning and improving. It takes overcoming obstacles and setbacks and challenges and plateaus. And it takes staying committed and consistent and optimistic and resilient. But it's also worth it. Because making $10,000 a month as a student is not just about money. It's about freedom and flexibility and fulfillment. It's about learning and growing and achieving and contributing. It's about living your best life and making a positive impact in the world. And that's what I want for you. That's why I made this video for you. Because I'm rooting for you and watching you from afar. And I know you can do it. You have what it takes to make $10,000 a month as a student. You have the right vehicle, the right timeline, and the right mindset. You just need to use them wisely and effectively. And I'm here to help you with that. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below telling me your biggest takeaway from it. And if you want more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to get notified when I upload new videos.